Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry with
JayArr.
We're from BoLS, and today we're going over Index Astartes 3 on the Retro Corner. This is our third part out of 4 for the series, going over the Index Astartes. These, of course, are a collection of articles originally printed in White Dwarf and collated here in these.
They've got everything you would want to know. Everything you'd want to know about your favorite chapters, including Traitor Legions for those of you who are heretics.
That's right.
This particular issue, version, book, Index Astartes 3, covers the Iron Hands, the World Eaters, the Ultramarines, the Death Guard, the Thousand Suns, and
it also gets into the history of the Defenders of Ultramar, which is basically the Tyranid Hunters, and we also talk about the Land Raiders. So let's go ahead and jump into this
I'm excited.
book. It was a forward here by Andy Chambers, but we're going to dive right into the Iron Hands. Now, for the chapters and the legions here that this book covers, it kind of follows the same basic format. You get the origin story of each chapter, which is really cool. You get a cool color palette for those chapters. Then it goes over the effects of the Horus Heresy, talks about their homeworld, talks about just their combat doctrine, their organization, and beliefs. What's cool, though, is as for the Space Marine chapters, you actually get kind of like a rules for how to play them in the game. I believe, I want to say this was 3rd edition, or around that era.
Sure.
3rd edition, 3.5, something like that. But you could actually run Iron Hands as their own separate army in 40k, which was pretty cool.
I also like that this tells you a lot about like the gene seed of the different chapters as well, because it tells you how they're all different and what makes them crazy. For the Iron Hands, it's that they hate that they have bodies. Yes.
The flesh is weak, and they want to replace as much as possible with metal and go from there.
Yeah, the flesh is weak.
So this is a short story, but then we're gonna get into some artwork some photos of the army against.
Hey, wait a minute.
The Death Guard, actually, which we'll get to.
I recognize that guy.
Typhus. But we're gonna jump next into the World Eaters. I want to point this color plate out real fast. We do see their current colors, which is the red, and we also see their pre-heresy colors. That, of course, helped launch all of the pre-heresy information. But again, origins.
Wow, I really like that pre-heresy World Eater, guys.
I do too.
That's such a cool color scheme.
We got their homeworld, combat doctrine, organizational beliefs, all this stuff.
And, of course, their famous battle cry, which every good colonel and lieutenant of Khorne knows.
is blood for the blood god.
Yeah.
They, of course, turn into the Berserkers. Well, parts of them do anyway. Then we get into the Ultramarines, which again, kind of the poster boy chapter. Yeah. If we're completely honest, and they're on the posters.
They're the Boy Scouts.
Yep. Boys in Blue. We've seen these guys before. It's going to go over all their fun stuff.
Is there anyone out there that doesn't know about the Ultramarines? Before I even started playing 40k, I knew about the Ultramarines.
The other thing too is they did have Tyranid Hunters, which was a 0-1 elite choice. Again, I believe this is 3rd edition. They just were veteran Space Marines. They had a couple of different warrior options. And a lot of the stuff,
they were specially trained to fight Tyranids.
Yeah, they were just better against Tyranids in general. So yeah, that was a cool thing. They, of course, based on the history, which we'll get into here in a second. But moving on from there, we also have the Death Guard Legion. Again, this book does cover Traitor Legion stuff. So again, we see the original Death Guard pre-heresy colors. And then we get into their current Death Guard, Plague Guard colors.
Where they look much more putrescent and green.
Indeed.
We talk about their homeworld, their beliefs, their combat doctrine.
Mortarians, origins, and the organization chapter, Typhus, all that lovely stuff. Captain Garo, it actually does talk about him. This is pre-heresy. So, this is an interesting little bit of lore about Garo. We of course, get to see that played out in Flight of the Eisenstein and stuff like that. So
cool.
It's pretty cool.
I like that they have no battle cry. They're just a silent, lumbering, plague-ridden death.
Then we get into the Thousand Suns Legion again, another Traitor Legion.
Yep.
And again, pre-heresy colors, which we've seen more of now lately.
Right.
But you get the Thousand Suns colors, which was that striking blue-yellow, and then the pre-heresy, which was the red. If you notice too, it's also got the scroll work.
Yeah, the glyphs and stuff.
Glyphs, on their armor, which is pretty cool. I've always wondered who went back and repainted their armor.
Yeah.
Because they all got turned to dust. So
they did get turned to dust and kind of trapped in it, thanks to the rubric of Ahriman, which is called out specially, and it talks all about how everything you do is dust.
And speaking of Ahriman, there you go. He's the chief librarian. He's wanting to get into the Black Library for that forbidden knowledge so that he can hopefully one day restore his brother Thousand Sons.
And it seems like he's making progress on that in 8th edition, finally.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Backtracking a little bit, we'll go back to the Defenders of Ultramar.
Hey.
This basically covers the backstory of the Tyranid invasion of Macragge and how it was stopped by the Ultramarines and their Tyrannic War veterans and all that jazz, and just the kind of this is kind of a breakdown, a battle log, or a collection of reports.
Exactly, you get like a sort of aftermath report from like different figures in the battlefield. It reminds me a lot of like the same kind of like storytelling you'd get in World War Z or something. Which this is World War T.
Right, basically. So it just goes through different sections. It does talk about the biology of Tyranids and stuff like that.
It's a really cool.
I want to point out too. Again, these models are from a very different era. That's actually a Hive Tyrant. That's a Carnifex. Those are the warriors there with the crazy shield arms.
Yeah, the shield arms.
A Zoanthrope, which looks similar today, but again, you can see kind of the origins there. And then some of the models haven't changed much at all. They're like Rippers,
the Gene Stealers,
Hormagaunts in the background there, and of course the Tactical Marines, which that's how old those models are. And then old Calgar. And that, I believe that was a power armor version.
Oh wow,
He's not even in Terminator armor.
No, he's just in power armor. Yeah. And he's still wearing the big gloves.
Big old gauntlets. And then we get into JayArr's favorite, the Land Raider.
The Land Raider, which is not called a Land Raider because it's a vehicle that you could raid in that goes on the land.
No, absolutely not.
Why would that be the case when instead you could name it after the techno-archaeologist Arkan Land, who is also the reason that you have the Land Speeder.
Yeah.
And
the Land Raider and the Land Speeder are the fault of this guy who actually didn't even create these.
No,
he just discovered them.
Yeah, he found the STC patterns and was like, hey, let's make these. I mean, he's a great character. Yeah. I love it.
STC standard template construction, I think. Or something along those standard template. But yeah, he discovered them, not necessarily invented them. But what I do like about this book, is we have this awesome technical readout.
Yeah,
I love these things. I'm going to zoom in actually.
You should, because this thing is cool. Like, I love this kind of thing. It shows you like how everything works. Gives you like an identification for all the different parts that are there.
And again, they're all listed here. There's 101 things listed, just marked here. I love this too because you get the idea like of how. The concept artist visualized or imagined all of this stuff working together. Like the engines are real. We've got the little gyros and stuff for the.
You've got someone operating the Sponson weapons.
Yeah, it breaks down the little turret where the guys can go up. The driver can pop up and man the guns or something like that. It's all of those little things broken down in. Technical readout.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of like the internal scale as well. No, it's super cool. Yeah.
Another thing I really like about this too is if you look in closely, you actually get alternate paint schemes for a bunch of different chapters. Like you have the Imperial Fist, who actually have black Land Raiders with yellow on the top and the sides. We've got the White Scars, which have that crazy lightning bolt pattern. Dark Angels, which are mostly just green, but they have some freehand on the side.
Hold up. How come you never told me about the Howling Griffins? Look at this!
Yeah, Howling Griffins, they're a thing.
That's amazing!
Quartered paint job, the Black Templars with the big white shields, again, offshoot from Dorn.
Right.
And then, of course, the Space Wolves, which have this sweet clan markings up top.
That is not a wolf, though. That's not a wolf.
There's no wolves on the
because there are no wolves, yeah.
And then finally, I think that's pretty much it. We get a more backstory about
tells you about some famous Land Raider battles. Worth reading because there's some interesting stuff in there. Land Raiders will fight on their own thanks to the Machine Spirit.
Yeah, that story is actually covered in this. So. Yeah. But yeah, go check this one out as well. That's going to do it for this Index Astartes 3. We'll be back next time with the final installment here, Index Astartes 4. I'm AdamHarry.
I'm JayArr.
Thanks for joining us on BoLS Souls Retro Corner. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.